another fig I've waited 3 years to try, and that is Italian 258. Let's take a look.
Here's a professionally made but unnecessary intro. So let's talk about figs. Let's talk about figs.
Back in the main orchard, and everything is growing way too big. But I guess that's a good problem to have. Even my little baby brown sugar crunch is starting to show a little bit of life. Thanks, Josiah, for that. But this is I-258. I know I'm going to be pruning these off, so some air layers are going to go on there. And of course, on the day where I knew I was going to pick, it is the one day where we get this wet substance that is falling from the sky that hasn't been here in months in Oregon, and that's rain. But this has been hanging and hanging and hanging. It is now time for me to put it in my mouth. So let's go sample it. This is so exciting. This is I-258. I have been waiting a long time to try this fig. It is supposed to do great in ground, which this is third year in ground in my main orchard. It has never given me Breba, and it gave me several main crop last year that didn't ripen, so I never tasted it. Closed eye, and we are on the only rainy day of the summer so far. So it rained all night this morning, this afternoon, and it's August 6th, 2025. So closed eye, beautiful coloration. I probably could have let this hang for an additional day so that it was softer here at the neck, but I have a couple more on the tree that I'm going to take a look at. So let's weigh it. All right, we're at 0 there. So we are at 51 grams. So kind of middle of the road. Let's take out the knife, cut off the stem, fling it. And so let's cut this down the middle and see what we've got. Pretty interesting coloration. First thing I notice is some ginormous seeds. So, I mean, that's a solid effort. Not a lot of nectar. Nice kind of thin wall here, but holds together. It's definitely soft. I wouldn't call it leathery by any means. And I'm going to do something different. I think this is to prevent myself from getting biased. I am going to do the brix, but I'm going to just prepare it. I'm not going to actually do the reading because I want to make sure, like with the LSU Tiger, it was so sweet. I mean, I knew it was sweet and my family knew it was sweet and they didn't know what the brix was. So I'm just going to plop it there. I'm not going to turn it on yet. I'm going to go ahead and taste my half, and then I'll give it to the family to taste. But let's take a look at I-258 Breba, Zone 9A, August 6th.
Nobody wants to hear gross sounding fig chewing into a microphone.
Okay, so I'm going to do first impressions, then I'll do the brix, then I'll taste the other quarter that I'm going to have. So first thing I notice is almost like, it's so interesting, almost like a coffee flavor, like a caramely, like a macchiato, a cafe au lait, a fancy, creamy, interesting mouthfeel, kind of thick, moderate seed crunch, very little chew. It's very, very nice. But like the initial was just like a punch of like a savory, like a coffee-y with some brown sugar caramel, that kind of family of flavor. So let's do the brix. I felt this was like mild to moderate sweet. If I had to guess, that's what we can do. We can do a game show where I guess the brix. Guess that brix. I'm going to say 18.5. So not too far off. It's not punch in the mouth like the LSU Tiger was in terms of the sweetness. But let me do the second tasting so I can get an idea if that's what I tasted before. Okay, so I'll downgrade the crunch to like minimal seed crunch. Still very delicate skin, not a lot of chew. That same rich kind of brown flavor of coffee, caramel, brown sugar is there. And now I get a little bit of berry. So this is super interesting. I mean, this is one of the more complex flavor figs that I've had so far. Um, it's really interesting on the interior. I mean, I don't know because I've never tasted it if this is typical for what this fig is supposed to look like. But for potentially a little bit of underripe up here, and I'm going to actually, my family seems to be way more sensitive to the grassy undertones than I am. I don't mind it, but they don't really care for it, and they comment on it way more than I do. I'm just going to take off that unripe area. I'm going to give this to them, let them taste it. Um, we'll put their notes, earlier in the video down below. I think this has a lot of actually. I'm excited as this gets older. I'm excited for all the main crop that it's putting on right now because it's really putting on quite a bit. This is one that I always try to air layer and propagate off because it's very vigorous with its growth, and I'm trying to keep things contained just to concentrate the flavor of the figs because I'm not really going after volume. This is delicious. Thumbs up. You, I-258, you are a good fig. See you guys next time.